tell from the title here, Ezeapps, that we're about to introduce to our team appointments for dealing with our leads. I know, it's scary. For donkeys, well, forever, the Blue Group has had the fast forward system, which was get a lead, send out information, follow up by the phone. Okay, that has been the system, and we haven't messed with it for a long time, or ever. We really believe that following the system is sort of an important thing, because if Bob Webb says, I'm going to be successful by putting my foot here, then guess where I want to put my foot? Right there. But some things have changed over the last little while, and I'd like to go through some of the background to why we're introducing this. Not necessarily as a complete switching system, but as an add-on to the current system that we've got. And there's lots of examples in Plain Easy of adding on to systems, so I don't think we're stepping outside the bounds too much here. But it will be new. Are we losing people already?
Concept's great.
Oh, because I'm standing here. Thank you. Sorry.
Has it been approved by anybody else, or
Approved.
Well, that's what we said.
We did tell Steve Rober.
Stephen.
Steve and Debbie. We told them that, so they're aware of what we're doing. Okay. One of the reasons we were looking for something new to add to our arsenal of sponsoring was in the last couple of years at least, probably 2 or 3 years, our business has not grown in the way it should have. Okay, quite frankly, we've been very flat with our numbers, and we were getting a little despondent about it. I mean, it was hurting. People were trying all kinds of things. We had Steve and Lane doing 150 leads a week, and they were on adrenaline rush, I think, doing that. But it was very, very expensive, and it was burning time. So we thought we've got to look at something new. Steve Johnson had talked to a number of people, and then quite independently, Steve and Lane spoke to Doug Roper about their system. Doug Roper is in the red group under the Peter and Jackie White, and Doug Roper was really willing and very helpful to share with us all of what they did. So what we did was just take his scripts, his numbers, and just tried them out. So we have been trialing this for a little while, and we'll show you what our results are. But so it started with we weren't too happy with where our business was going, and we needed to do something. You know the adage, if you keep doing the same old thing time and time again, you're going to get what you always got. So it was time to give a little bit of juice to this business. I don't know if many of you have been sort of paying attention. I was putting out a number of Tom Schreider, Big Al's, levels of communication on the EasyReach system. And Tom, or Big Al, talks about going from the very lowest level of communication being an email or a text, sort of, it was a way to communicate, but it was talking at people. His highest level of communication was the face-to-face communication. So we thought, okay, there's something in that theory that he was espousing, and we saw a lot of growth in the Whites team. But also, the core of our business is 2 really strong local legs. The Fred McCarran's leg out of Farnborough, or Mitchett, to be precise, and Jim and Claire's team sort of in the Fleet, Farnborough, Aldershot, around here, anyway. And I think there's a lot to be said for people that are local to us, that we sponsor locally. It's much easier, again, to get that higher level of communication in the form of sizzles and that sort of thing. It's very difficult for the guys that are up in Birmingham to get down here. We were talking to Mark, and it's going to cost him 58 quid. And he said, we'll get the information to you some other way. But what he misses then is sort of the interaction of what's going on today. And that happened, Stuart, the same thing, at a distance. We're very, very appreciative of you guys making the trek up here. It's really good of you. So what we want to concentrate on is that local team, so we can all stay together. And when we're sponsoring local, then it's much easier to do appointments. When we first heard about teams doing appointments, we thought, oh my goodness, I don't want to be driving all over the countryside at all hours of the day and night. But if we're doing it within a reasonable radius, where we are, then it's where we would be going anyway, probably. So that's sort of the background to this. I guess also the internet leads that we're going more and more into the leaflets and cards and the old traditional fish pond activities. The internet leads, while we still use them, we're not getting the same kind of response from them. We're getting a lot of button pushers. You know, the students who've just graduated and say, I want to apply for a job, and all they have to do is hit a button and they've applied for about 10 different jobs. We get a lot of job seekers too, and that's not what we want. We need people that have a little more of an entrepreneurial spirit to them. Okay. Now, do we know it works? Well, certainly there's a lot of evidence in the red group who do almost exclusively do appointments. A lot of the teams in the blue group are also experimenting with the appointments. I know Neil Young has done some, Abigail Kolkoff, the millionaire, she was doing them. We also know that there are people in the PPG, John Webb in particular, who are also doing. PPG is Andy Stevenson's group, who's upline to Steve Roper, so in our upline. John Webb's doing appointments. So there is a lot of experience around, and we can pull on that. So yeah, we know it's working. Now, about the results though. We have been trialing this really, I guess, sort of on a bit of a casual basis since the middle of March. In fact, when we did the Easy Sponsor training here in the middle of March, I think it was, we had just started into that. And we were sort of biting our tongue a little bit, talking about, this is the only way, to send information and whatnot, when we knew we were doing some different things. But we wanted to make sure that in our hearts we knew it was going to work. So I want to maybe have the people that have been trialing it with this, Fred and Karen have been trialing it, Jim and Claire, and Stephen Lane and us. Okay? And maybe if, Steve, do you want to put our numbers up with this? Just to show you what kind of activity it was taking to get leads, to get appointments, and then to get sign-ups. Now Claire, I wonder if you could get your handy-dandy little calculator out and do that same calculation where we looked at leads to sign-ups.
Certainly.
Okay. Because for so long we've been looking at, and so long since we've been in the business, so 10, 11 years, we've been looking and being told that we need 50 leads to get one sign-up. And that just knocked a lot of people out. I mean, that was a big number to be dealing with. So let's take a look. Yeah. Okay, so we did now, and you also want to take some of these numbers with a bit of a grain of salt, because although we were starting to do local marketing back in March, we didn't start tracking it until it was the beginning of May. Okay, so the numbers aren't perfect. Okay, but we did somewhere over 4,000 pieces of activity in the form of cards and flyers.
Over how long?
Sorry?
Over how long?
Well, what we kept track of was from, I think, May 24th to now. Okay? So from that, we got 44 leads. And again, this is a little iffy because I know we had one sign up from before that we were doing local marketing in March. So it's off a little bit. We had 25 appointments from that 44 leads, and we got 3 sign-ups from appointments. Okay, we're not taking into account any kind of internet leads that have come in that we've purchased, or leads, national leads and that sort of thing. Who's next? Steve, do you want to put your numbers up?
Sorry, is that 4,300? What? So there's 2 shop?
Oh, 2 shop cards and then some 11 posters.
Right.
Yeah. Just to say, it wasn't just all leaflets. Fred, is the flip chart in the video? Okay, I'll read them off then so that people can see them in their minds.
And put it on the spreadsheet and send it to the video.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So 1,500 leaflets, 15 grabbers, and 3 gum trees. So this includes the gum tree leads that they or ads that they would have put on that said local.
What's a grabber?
Oh, I don't have one with me. It's It's like a sheet of paper with little slits at the bottom. You have to share off your phone number.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's got the ad at the top and then the phone number or website, yeah. They got 17 leads, had 11 appointments, and 1 sign-up from that. Jim, Claire, do you want to put yours on? So these are sort of small numbers we're dealing with, but you'll see that there's some consistency over the 4 of us in what the results are, the percentages as they work out. Fred, do you have yours? Okay, 4,177 leaflets, 21 leads, 16 appointments, and 2 sign-ups. And one of them is here today.
Living proof that what?
Yeah.
That was over period 6 and 7, I recorded that.
Okay, Fred carried 2,100 leaflets, 37 leads, 11 appointments, and 1 sign-up. So you can see the ratio of leads to the activity done does vary a fair bit. Okay. Last year when we were doing the Back to Basics Challenge, we were looking at somewhere around 250 to 300 leaflets gave a lead. Some of our experience is more like 100 to 1.
Just a quick minute, are you all using the same leaflet?
Okay, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. And we'll talk about that in more depth in a second, Sean. Now, Claire, what are you coming up with? Claire's just calculating the ratio of sign-ups to what? Leads.
Yeah, so just leaflets, we just do the leaflet numbers,
Okay.
because grabbers and that.
You don't know.
But leaflets to leads is 101, but then obviously that would be higher, so it'd probably be more like 150 because some of those leads probably come from grabbers.
What's the 101 mean?
101 leaflets to get 1 lead.
Oh, to get a lead. Okay.
But because, well, we start 3 Gumtree leads, that's 3 off of it. So is that it?
Yeah, don't worry about that. This is, so you know this is a bit rough, okay? Play with the numbers. So how many leads do you need to get to appointments? Did you have that?
Yeah, number of leads to get appointments is 1.8, so 1 in 2.
To 1. Am I writing that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
2 to 1 basically.
So yeah, 2 leads, you'll get an appointment.
Yeah.
And then sign-ups. How many leads do you need to get a sign-up?
How many leads or how many appointments?
Leads.
Appointments.
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 Okay.
Oh,
well,
do you-
I need both.
Okay, so 9 appointments to 1 sign up or 1 introduction. I don't know what that's like.
Okay. And how many leads?
And 17.
Okay.
17 leads to 1
to 1 sign-up. And that's the number that I think is important here in this whole discussion because we had been working on 50. Whole lot more. So I think just the numbers here show that it's working a lot better. Hello, oh, you must be back. Good, oh, you guys, we've only just started, so you've hardly missed anything.
Okay.
Let me just give you just sort of a quick, you're not going to be able to see if you sit here. If you can sit in here, that'd be great.
Not yet, anyway.
Can the cake come this
Oh,
way?
yeah, did you
I'll
look
let
up?
the cake. No, I'm going to take
Tickets. Speeding tickets.
Okay, Keith, Baz, what we're talking about is the introduction of appointments to our sponsoring routines. And we've just gone through some of the numbers that Fred and Karen, Jim and Claire, Stephen, Lane, and us have been working on. We used to be working on 50 leads would give us one sign-up on the old system. We're now looking at something like 17 leads will give us a sign-up, okay? We'll go over that part with you a little bit more. So, we saw a lot of benefit to this. We'll go over some of the benefits in more detail, but it sure looked like something that was successful enough that we were willing to roll it out to the team, okay?
Probably fair to say as well, that not many people were achieving 1 in 50.
That's right. Yeah. That 1 in 50 was what we'd been told, 10, 11 years ago. And boy, if it came true, we were really lucky. You guys were saying, was it 1 in 83?
That's us.
Oh, sorry, you guys.
83.
1 in 83 was the best you'd done. And that's after, what, 6 years?
Yep. And we had to really work hard at that because a lot of it was buying the limited.
Yeah,
Whereas
so it's expensive.
It's slightly more like this one.
Even when we were doing our massive lead account, like 150 a week, our best ratio, I think, was about 1 in 40, wasn't it?
All right. So there's a lot to this, okay? Now, the process that we use is simply local lead generation, and local being, we'll go sort of from Aldershot to Guildford, perhaps to Basingstoke, somewhere in that kind of a circle. The distance you go is up to you. Doug Roper did just really close, what did he say, 20 miles?
To start with.
To start with. Then he started going an hour's worth away because he was getting so much of a team locally that he didn't want to be stepping on them, so he started expanding his area for leafleting a little more. We book the appointments by phone, then we have the meeting with the prospect, and then we follow up by phone to see what their decision is. And that's as simple as this gets. So let me talk a little bit about each of those 4. The local lead generation, now I say this, we have the same wording on each leaflet. I'll just pass a couple of these around so you can see them. And what we're doing here is just copying what Doug Roper did. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel here at all. So he said all he does is put 400 to 600 pounds on because that's immediately what people want. They may in fact want to be team builders down the road or very soon, but what they need is money in their pocket. And if we can help people put money in their pocket right away, then we're doing our job. Okay? If then we expose them to the business and to the team building side, that's great. But immediately everybody's out for some money. We tell them right up front that it's delivering and collecting catalogs, so there's nothing hidden here. We're not trying to surprise people with easy money or anything. They've got to do some work for it. Immediate start must be 18, sort of optional. We put those in because that's what BIDS has on theirs. And we just take one of the standard ones from BIDS for our flyers. We put our Easy Reach number on and our website, which what we're using is just the website that leads to the I want to change my lifestyle, the data capture page. So that's it. They don't have any other information sent to them. Still on the guys that sending them to a website or sending them an email with stuff is a lower form of communication than getting face-to-face and giving them communications.
When they get or ask for information through the website, are they on the autoresponder? Do they get something back immediately or do they get nothing?
Not on ours. No.
So your first point of contact is through phone call or
That's right, phone call.
Okay.
Phone call to make the appointment. Okay, we'll tell you how we're doing that in a second. So we generate the leads doing the traditional fish pond activities of leaflets, cards, flyers, posters. We've been doing some of these sort of things, putting them up on trees and lampposts and that kind of thing. Grabbers, what else? Gumtree. It can still be internet leads too if you want to make them local to you and postcode them. Those cost more. Okay, we know that. And the ratio that the Red Group uses when they introduce people to this system is 20-10-1. 20 leads will give you 10 appointments that should give you 1 sign-up. And that's pretty much what we were experiencing here.
We're 17.91 at the moment.
Yeah, pretty much spot on. And ours is a small sample. So when he's bringing new people into the business, what he tells them is, if you want to team build, expect to have to get 20 leads, make 10 appointments from that, and you'll get 1 sign-up. That's in the beginning. When you get really good at it, you should be getting 3 sign-ups out of 10 appointments. So, wow, if you can do 10 appointments in a week, your business is rocking, just rocking. You'd be bringing in 3 people a week. You have to put your feet up and take a breather at some point, I think. You got to look after them after that.
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah.
So these leads you're specifically bringing in and getting the sign-ups, you're focusing on building that, to begin with, you're just as retail for them only, you're not really looking, because I'm sort of getting like mixed information, like for example on the stuff I've been reading, it says about when you're building your downline, you should only be working 5 people at a time. So I sort of, I just want to make sure that I'm following it like right.
Initially, we're talking about what makes them money, and that's the retail.
Okay, so excuse me, retail, so you're not...
Not
would you tell them-
easily, don't say that, Michael. It's, the leaflet is the delivering and collecting catalogs, the retail. When we talk to them, if they look like, and we'll get into this some more, but if they look like they want to do team building and build a business, then we show them the proverbial circles and how the business works. We also want to be really clear that one of the requirements of success in this business is to get to a meeting, and that's where they're going to get more of the exposure to the big picture. So if they can get to a meeting within, say, a week or 2 of signing up, then they're going to have the whole story very clearly. So let's go on then to how to make the appointment, and I'm wondering if we can just pass those around. What we have here is a script for you. And again, this was just taken from what Doug Rover kindly gave us. Steve Shepard was just taking it down as fast as his little fingers would go. And we just duplicated really what Doug Rover gave you on the phone. Right? And the idea is to follow the script. It works. And boy, if there was anybody that was scared of using a script on the phone, it was me. I thought this is going to sound funny. It's not what's normally come out of my mouth when I call a lead. But boy, it works, and it blew us away. The first couple of times we were using it, we thought, my gosh, nobody's saying no.
So
and that's what
you use it word for word.
Absolutely, that's all we do.
Yeah, when we started this, I felt like an absolute twat, frankly. Picking up the phone and saying to people, hi, as you know, we're looking for people in your area, £4,600 a month. And it just went like clockwork. The first one I called said, well, 3 o'clock would be best for me. Fine. The next one I said, then you say, okay, if it's in the same area, now you say, okay, I've got an appointment available at 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock, which is best for you. Oh, 2 o'clock is best for me. I think the first 4 I called were that easy. Really, were that easy. So you soon stop feeling stupid when it's that easy.
We'll go through a little bit of a role play here too, of showing you how this is going to work. But just before we do that, I'd like to make sure that if someone says, well, is this clean easy? You say yes. So you're not hiding anything. Okay? And this isn't a case, we used to say to people, oh, I want you to look at the information first. Watch the video. Watch, look at the frequently asked questions and all of that. And we've had some feedback from people that say, I didn't like that. That was a real too coy for my taste. So we're right up front, yes, it's clean, easy, and if at that point they say, oh, well, I did it 10 years ago and I'm never going to touch it again, fine, bye. We're done with it. And we have dealt with that lead within about a 30-second time span. They're not hanging around having to be phoned and phoned again and again and again. And use a diary. Make sure you use a diary. And if you're working the business as a couple, I think you need to put your appointments in each of your books so that you know where you are. Especially like us, we've only got one car. We need to know where that car is going to be at all times so we can work around that. Okay, so let's try one of these role plays, and we've got Jim and Steve to do it. Okay. Now we're going to do a few scenarios. And they're going to alternate being the distributor calling the prospect, and then the next time it'll be someone else being the... So which are you first?
I'm the caller.
You're the distributor, the current distributor, okay. Do you want to come up, come up to the front so the video can catch you.
Bloody hell, look at your makeup.
You look beautiful without it. Oh, hey Jim. Okay, fire away.
Ring, 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 ring.
Hello,
Hi, that's Steve.
speaking.
Hi, Steve. It's Jim Dale. As you know, we're looking for people in your area to earn £400 to £600 per month delivering and collecting catalogues.
All right, yeah.
I'm in your area tomorrow. We usually pop round and see people. I've got 2 appointments left, 10 o'clock or 3 o'clock. Which is best for you?
3 o'clock is good for me.
3 o'clock? Excellent. Okay, I'll see you then. Just got that address.
Okay.
And I'll see you tomorrow at 3.
See you then.
Cheers. Bye.
Yeah, you would have their address and their phone number from the lead information. Confirming that, that'd be great. Okay, now you're going to be the distributor,
Yeah.
and Jim's the lead. And this time we're starting to get into where some glitches might come in. The first one was just
Can I just say something? How easy did that sound?
very easy.
That is how the majority go.
And the thing is, I read that, and I'm still reading it now on the phone because I haven't I can do it off the pat, but I just have it in front of me, so just read it to people, and that's really how most of them do go. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, the first time I made
So
it,
direct compared to what we normally do.
so simple. isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's so direct.
So, Steve now's the distributor.
Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hands free.
Hello?
Oh, hi, is that Jim?
It is?
Oh, hi, Jim. It's Steve Shepherd. You replied to our adverts, and as you know, we're looking for people to earn £400 to £600 a month, delivering and collecting catalogues. I'm in your area tomorrow. I've got 2 appointments available, 1 o'clock or 3. I was just wondering which would be best for you.
Probably about 1 o'clock. Can you tell me what it's all about?
Yeah, sure. As it says in the adverts, we deliver and collect catalogues in your local area, and we work around any other commitments that you may have. What commitments do you have at the moment?
I'm sort of working part-time at the moment in the mornings. Yes, I've got a bit of spare time in the afternoons sort of thing.
Oh, excellent, that's ideal. Now, remind me, did we say 1 o'clock or 3?
Yeah, 3 o'clock should be fine for me.
3 o'clock? Excellent. Okay, I will see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
Excellent, cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
That's good, except you changed your mind.
I was working in the morning, so I leave until 3.
The leads we get, some of them are Okay, Jim's now the distributor and Steve is the lead.
Ring, 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 ring.
Hello.
Hi, that's Steve.
Speaking.
Hi, Steve. It's Jim Dale calling.
Hello.
Hi there. As you know, we're looking for people in your area to earn £400 per month delivering and collecting catalogues.
Oh, right, yeah, I saw the advert.
Yeah, I'm in the area tomorrow. I've got a couple of appointments left, 10 o'clock or 3 o'clock. Which is best for you?
Can you tell me what I've got to do?
Yes, actually all we do is deliver and collect catalogues in our local area, working around our other commitments. What commitments do you have?
Well, I'm unemployed, so I've got Jeremy Kyle and Listen Martin in the afternoons.
Okay, so you've got quite a bit of time available
I'm
then.
fairly flexible, yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, what would just pop around and see you, sort of go through it with you for 20 minutes. I mean, which would be best for you, 10 o'clock or 3 o'clock?
Well, 10 o'clock probably.
10 o'clock? Okay, I'll see you then.
Will do.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
In the space of like 5 minutes, they made 3 appointments. This is pretty good. Okay, one last go, and what was the scenario here? Oh yeah, asking what it was about.
What if they say who? What do you say this is today?
You'd say, it's Jim Dale. A little louder.
Do you say
All I've done in that
the
situation
person
is,
behind the leaflet?
No, then you just go on with what you're saying.
So you
Yeah,
just-
go on, you stick to the script.
I've never had anybody say who, because they sort of recognise what it's about. But if I do say who's out, so you've had a leaflet come through your door earlier today, so we phoned sort of later that day, and they go, oh yeah, because they phoned and they had the leaflet that day, so yeah, they recognise it.
But we haven't had anybody say what.
No.
Doesn't matter. Okay, Steve, you're the distributor now?
Mhm.
And Jim's the lead.
Ring, ring. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Oh, hi there. Is that Jim?
It is.
Hi Jim, it's Steve Shepherd. You responded to our adverts. As you know, we're looking to find people in the local area to earn £400 to £600 per month delivering and collecting catalogues. I'm in the area tomorrow and I've got 2 appointments free, so I was wondering which would be best for you, 10 or 3?
Okay. Could you tell me, is it something like Betterware or Avon? Or?
It's not Betterware, no, it's a similar company. It's a home shopping company that uses catalogues called Clean Easy. Don't know if you've heard of it before.
Right, yeah, no, I've heard of things before. I've had friends that have done it before, and no, I don't think they said it didn't work, and yeah, I'm not really interested in that, thanks.
Okay, well, just before I hang up, your friends have tried it. Is it something you want to see for yourself, what it's all about, so you can make up your own mind?
No, not really. They were good friends, and they didn't get on very well with it, so
okay.
they didn't like it. So
No problem at all, that's fine. If you know of anybody else that might be interested, then please feel free to pass their details on.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
Right. Cheers, Steve.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so making the appointment is really a snap. The first time I was doing it, I guess I was searching, I just got on the phone and then realized, oh, I don't have my script in front of me. So I was sort of searching around the messy bits of paper and found it, read it off. They said, yeah, 3 o'clock or whichever it was. And I went screaming downstairs to Steve, I'm making an appointment, I'm making an appointment. And it was just such a natural thing and it felt good. Anyway, so once you've made the appointment and you want to make it soon, like tomorrow where all the examples being given, then we actually get into the meeting. And the meeting consists of building rapport, showing them the catalogs. Not everybody has seen a Clean Easy catalog or knows what they're about. Someone asked me at one point, well, how heavy are they? You know, I think they're thinking of a Next catalog or a telephone book or something like that, but it was quite heavy. So they saw it and then knew a little bit more about what they were going to have to do. So we show the catalog, we discuss the income potential with them, we talk about the startup costs, we show stories of other distributors, we ask if they've got any questions, and sometimes the questions are coming as we go along, and we arrange a time to call them again to follow up to get their decision. Okay. In the rapport builder, which should be only about 5 minutes, you wanted to find out there what it is they want. You know, if someone is already working, say, full-time, but maybe has 3 or 4 hours in the afternoon, we want to know that. So we can talk about then when we get to the income potential, make it real for someone who's only got, say, 3 hours a day to work with. So we want to get a little bit about their goals and what their aspirations are for the business. And at that point, if we hear someone, like Michael, you were asking, you know, which business or retailing, if someone is really keen to build a big business, they're maybe unemployed, looking for a change, and this is going to be the best thing since sliced bread for them, then yeah, we want to be talking more about the circles, but initially it's the catalogs. Okay? We discuss the income potential, and I can send this to you by email. We have a sheet showing if they get 200 pounds of orders, what that will, a week, what that will pan out to be at the end of the month in income profit to them. And the chart goes down to, I don't know, something like 1,000 pounds a week in orders and what that means to them in income. So they can see the growth. If they just do more, they can get more. We don't talk about the 1 pound a catalog average because that's an average that you might achieve, you know, 8-10 months down the road, not initially, and that can be tough to swallow for new people when they come back to you saying, I'm only getting 50p. Well, you know, your expectations have been too high. So we want to discuss the income potential there. Often I will say, you know, if we're looking, if they want to make the 400 pounds in a month, look at that, the line that's going to get them that, and I'll say, look, to get, say, 400 pounds in a week in orders, you might need to do 200, 250 catalogs twice a week. Let's start off with that and see how you go. So the expectation there is really kind of quite vague. Okay? But they know, they've got their mind fixed on what kind of order values they need in order to get their profit. Okay? We do talk very openly about the startup costs. And we have a sheet that we hand them that we've taken just from the extrainfo.co.uk site. So we hand them what it's going to cost for $250, what it's going to cost for $200, what it's going to cost for $50. We don't have the break free on there. That's your choice if you want to put it on. If someone absolutely looks like they're dead broke, or they've been talking to someone else, then we'll tell them about the trial that Clean Easy is doing right now with break free, and this might be appropriate for you. And then we go into that. But not until, and that's one reason you want to be in their home, too. Because you can suss out a lot about a person from their surroundings. And if they are dead broke, then break free might be the way to go. But in my mind, it's not the first way to go. Okay? So we leave them with that sheet as well. We leave them with some stories. If we know anything about them before we go for the appointment, if we have already found out that they're a student, for example, I might take some student stories with them to leave. If we know the address looks like, sort of a middle class, upwardly mobile kind of a residence, then we might take some stories of people that have done well in the retail and build a business. Something that shows some progression there. Okay, but it varies. Steve, I think, takes a binder of a whole variety of stories so he can show them right at the time once he's kind of got to know their, what they want out of this business. So I wonder if we could do another role play showing the meeting now. Now we won't go through the question and answer part, but we'll give you enough of a taste of this, not necessarily a full 20 minutes. So it was Steve and Steve? No, Steve and you, I'm sorry. Okay, do you want to bring chairs up? Yeah.
When I first go into a house, one of the first things I do is look to see if they're wearing shoes, and if they're not, then I tend to take my shoes off at the front door. Admittedly, there are some carpets where you think, well, I'll put my shoes on when I go in and take them off when I go out, but you do see what they are, because you don't want to immediately get off on the wrong foot by trading through someone's house wearing shoes, if they don't do it themselves.
I don't wear shoes in our house.
I was asked to go into that.
The next thing I do, sometimes they'll offer you a cup of tea, sometimes they won't. If they do, while they're out of the room, while they're out of the room, I just have a look round and try and find something that you can open the conversation with. So, the appointment I did the other day, there was a big framed wedding photo on the site. So the first thing I opened up with was, oh, lovely wedding photo. Did you get married recently? So that's where we start. Lovely wedding photo. Did you get married recently?
Yeah, quite recently, yeah.
Oh, excellent. And what does your husband do?
He's a painter, decorator.
Oh, right.
He always works himself.
Tough times for the trades at the moment. How's he doing? Is he getting lots of work in?
Yeah, he's got lots of work in, but people don't really want to pay him, so he's out of the house for hours, 10, 15 hours a day if he has to, if he's got to travel, but just getting the money to come in afterwards. People they want it done and then they don't pay anything.
And do you work at all at the moment?
No, I've got 3 little children, so I'm at home with them.
Oh, right. Yeah, I know when we got married, Lane always said when we had children that she'd like to stay at home and look after them. And, so I said it's better that you look after them yourself than pay someone else to look after
Yeah,
them.
definitely. That's what I had kids. I'm about to work and leave with the childminder.
Yeah. Okay, and you're obviously looking for some extra money. What is it that you're looking for? Just to pay the bills, or have you got a particular goal in mind?
No, really, it's just so we've got some extra money. I mean, say my husband's business isn't bringing in the income that we need. 3 kids, growing all the time, they need school, they need shoes. The eldest one is starting school in September, so I've got to buy a whole uniform, the nursery fees and all that sort of thing. So, yeah, anything really, I just want to learn anything.
Yeah, and it gets more expensive, unfortunately. Our two are in senior school now, and of course everything's the latest trends, and got to have this to beat the Joneses. But, So you look at something, once you've paid the bills, what do you like to do? Can you remember that far back? When you had spare money, what is it that you would really like to do? You like travel or cars? Or?
No, because I don't drive, so cars really aren't my thing. Maybe go on holiday. That would be quite nice, because we haven't had a holiday really since the children have been born, because it's so expensive to take them away. And now the oldest one starts in school, we have to go in the holidays. So, it's so much more expensive to do that. Maybe, somewhere like a Centre Parks or even Butlins or a Pontins or something for a week in the summer holidays. I mean, we can't take too much time off because my husband, has to go where the work is, but he did manage to get 4 or 5 days off. It was quite nice to go away.
And the kids would absolutely love that, wouldn't they? Centre Park, something like that, all the activities.
Yeah, I think they probably would. So don't really need much, but it would be nice to have something like that.
Okay. Well, what I'll do is I'll run through what we do, and then you can work out if it's something that's suitable for you.
Okay.
And this is the catalogue that we use.
I did wonder, because I had images of it being really big, thick, like the next catalogues.
No,
My best
no.
friend delivers those, and
They're
she
much
has to
easier
have
to
a
use
car,
than
and
that.
I don't drive, so...
No, you can do it all locally. We've got people on the team that have built their whole retail business up on foot and push bikes. So
okay.
it's all very local. Now you've got the main book here, which covers all the household cleaning, gadgets and health and beauty and all that sort of thing.
Alright, okay.
About 2,000 lines altogether.
Right.
And as you can see, flipping through it, there's a wide range, something that would be suitable for everybody.
Yeah.
And on top of that, there's a seasonal magazine, which is that one. That changes sort of every couple of months. Obviously, that's the spring one. We've actually got the summer one now. And as early as it sounds, the Christmas one comes out in August. But you would be
I
surprised.
see that one, I haven't got a garden.
But you would be surprised as soon as the Christmas one comes out, people are ordering from it, and the next 6 months are fantastic with sales. And then there's just a special offer leaflet that they bring out every now and then. So is there, looking through it, is there something in there that you think you'd like to buy?
Probably wouldn't buy everything, but my husband would have my hands tied behind my back.
So if there's something in there that you'd like to buy, then obviously there's things
Yeah,
that
my
other
mum gets
people
this
would like to
catalogue
buy.
and she's bought stuff before now, so...
Excellent. So somebody would order from you anyway.
Yeah, she probably would.
Okay. Now, talking about orders, I've got a sheet here that shows the sort of incomes you can expect from the number of catalogues that from the number of orders that you generated from the catalogues. Now, what sort of amount do you initially want to help you sort of pay the bills per month?
Really don't know. I mean, anything from 20 quid a week would be extra. I don't know. I mean,
okay. Well, if you see on the top line there, if you got £200 worth of orders a week,
yeah,
which using the system we use is more than possible, that would earn you an extra £50 plus a week. Does that sound
yeah. I mean, I
right
can see.
on there?
Yeah, this top one is £216 or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, I mean that would pay one of the term nursery fees. So that would obviously then not have to come out of the general housekeeping money. So that already sort of sounds a bonus.
and give you a little bit extra on top that you can put away for your holiday and Centre Parks?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. As you see, there's no sort of limit on the number of catalogues you can do there. Obviously, it's a numbers game, so the more you put out, the more money you'll earn. And it's entirely up to you to decide that. We don't say that you have to do a certain amount. It's up to you to decide, and we would work with you to explain and show you how that would be done.
The amount of time you put in is what you're going to get out of it.
That's right. Now, there's various different ways to get started. As you can see from the sheet there's 3 different kits listed on there. There is a small investment to get started,
Okay.
but it's entirely up to you which one would be best for you. we have no benefit at all from getting you to invest in any of those kits. So it really doesn't matter to us which one you go for. Looking at the goals that you had, sort of the £50 a week, we would recommend probably the 200 kits. As you can see on there, that's £162 at the moment, but it is available on instalments. So you can pay £99 down and then £32 a month for the next 2 months.
Okay.
Do any of those sort of think, well, looks as if they'd be suitable?
Yeah, I mean, you've got the 50 kit here, but and that's £85, but does it not make more sense to...
Purely from a money point, you can look at it as saving £15 or whatever on the initial instalment. But the 50 kit works better with knock and presents. So with the larger kits, basically all you do is go around putting a catalogue through every door.
Right.
With the knock and present, with a smaller number of catalogues, it works better to actually knock on the door, introduce yourself, show the catalogue and ask if they would be interested in looking at it.
Oh, right. You go for a bigger kit then, because with the kids, I'll have all 3 of them with me.
Yeah.
So, don't really want to be on people's doorsteps, I'd rather just...
No, but at the end of the day, if you did decide to go for 50, we would obviously give you full training on how to do that. But certainly when we started with the 200 because I wouldn't have been confident enough initially to knock on the doors. And we put those out twice a week, and that's where we started our business from. Okay. Now I've got some testimonies here. I've got various ones that would probably be suitable. I've got a couple more here that I'll leave with you. If you just want to have a quick flip through those ones there, they're all people that have started this business with a young family. So as you can see, there's all different backgrounds and that, and they all earn different amounts of money according to what it is that they want from the business.
Well, that's good.
And feel free to have a flip through any of the other sections if you want, but those are sort of most relevant to your background.
Yeah, somebody's got twins, so people will be empathise with them, their children. Yeah, quite like to write her cheque, 1,800.
Yeah.
So is that her first cheque then, £159?
That's right, yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Excellent, okay.
Okay. Now there's some more testimonies there. There's our story on top, which explains a bit more about us and some other people in the team.
Right.
But I've taken up enough of your time now. Obviously you're busy with the children and that sort of thing. So I'll leave it with you.
Okay.
I'll give you a call tomorrow. You're bound to think of some questions as soon as I walk out the door. If you just make a note of them, I can go through them with you tomorrow. Absolutely no pressure at all. Whatever you decide is entirely up to you. But hopefully we can help you out.
Okay.
Okay.
All right then. Thank
I'll speak to you tomorrow.
All right. Cheers, Steve.
Cheerio.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, now Elaine wants to talk a little bit about what not to do.
Come back here.
Tim,
Yeah.
Tim's got a question.
Two things really. You always read the catalogues with them,
Yes.
right? And the second thing is, do you are we deliberately not mentioning an easy party?
No, we're not deliberately not mentioning.
You're not deliberately.
How many knots were in that sentence, I wonder?
The thing is, with the leaflets, we're advertising for that much to do
Yeah.
with catalogues. That's
Yeah,
what
but
those-
on the interview, at the appointment, when you have the discussion about what might be suitable for them, especially a young mum with a family, might.
Certainly, if you think that's appropriate, you can bring that in.
The
And
leaflet-
take something with you to back it up.
The leaflet we use is slightly different. It's exactly the same with that, but it does say delivering catalogues or party plan.
Right.
We do that on our leaflets because we're obviously doing the party plan. So we've got a bit more experience than a lot of people doing it. So we personally would know before we went which part of the business that they were looking at.
and then we'll talk to them. But whatever they've applied for is what we'll talk to them about. So if they say, right, I'm looking at party plan, we'll go and talk about party plan. If they're only delivering catalogues, we'll talk about delivering catalogues.
But they have actually replied in the majority of cases to deliver and collect catalogues. So they
No,
obviously think
no.
that would be suitable for them.
No, people really know what party plan is, though, would
Not at the moment, no.
Okay, just going to very briefly run through here the wrong way to do an appointment, okay, having had experience of this myself. So you go in pretty much the same as what Steve just, initially, break the ice, find out, all about them as much as you possibly can, and then the appointment won't go something like this. Okay, well here's some catalogues. The catalogues, they change sort of a couple of times a year. You don't necessarily have to keep buying a new one, so there's various incentives in place to make sure that you keep your catalogue numbers topped up, because obviously the more catalogues you've got to work with, the more money you're going to make. That's the main book. It encompasses kitchen gadgets, home things for the garden, things for the pets. There's loads and loads of stuff in there.
How does it be ordered from it?
There's an order form that goes in front of the catalogue, and also a day slip which tells people what day you're coming back on, and you must go back on that day, because otherwise people, they won't trust you if you don't go back. They just simply fill out the order form. We'll teach you how to make sure that you check the order form so that you know that they've left their name and address on there, because otherwise it's really annoying if you come back home and you can't find an order. You've got your rounds book, which again will give you and teach you how to use it, but you've marked off where you've got the order form and there's no name and address on there. So, we do go through all the training that we do. We usually have a monthly Barclays one and a spring special one. Now that changes again twice a year with the introduction of the Christmas one. And you can do floor-step demonstrations with the Christmas products. Absolutely fabulous. That goes really, really well. Lots of people are very successful about that. But there's loads and loads of products in there. And Clean Easy are really, really good. If somebody doesn't want a product that you're taking to them, they'll give the return system is just absolutely brilliant. You just send it back as long as you've got it back within 80 days. You can return it to Clean Easy. They give you your money back, and you've already given it back to the customer or exchanged it for something else that they want as well. Okay. The banking side of it's really, really simple as well. They just send you gyro slips. They send you gyro slips. You just go into the town. Pay the credit card over.
She actually did this one time.
And you just pay it over the counter. So it's really simple. The order gets sent to you in as many boxes. You just unpack them all, put them into the individual boots. And that's the wrong way to do an appointment, because your eyes are, I'm bored of talking, your appointees' eyes are glazing over, and there's just no point.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
The only thing I would say is that it does kind of its legs up by the person that's the appointment, because most of my appointments have been sort of 15 to 20 minutes long, the way that Steve's done it, but with Michael was there for over an hour. And Michael was after in the class, but Michael was asking all the questions, and I was answering them. So the conversation was kind of like what we just did with Lane, but Michael was asking the questions, so I was telling him the answers.
But it's like you said, you want to be open and honest about it, and I think if you try to dodge my questions, I probably would walk away and say,
We're not trying to dodge anything, but you've got two restrictions. One is the time, because presumably once you get flowing with this, you've got another appointment at 4 o'clock or an hour later. You've got to be able to get there, so you do have to cut it off at some point. But also responding rather than dumping. Yeah. What we want to focus on in the appointment is what the person is going to get from this business, okay? Not what they have to do. Because if they know, if what they want to get is £500 a month, and we can be sort of credible enough to say, yes, you can get it, you can do it with this catalog, But what you have to do to get it, I mean, as long as it's legit, it's legal and all of that sort of stuff, you're willing to do that. Okay? But you have to know that you can get out of it what is going to satisfy you. So we're focusing on that. And a lot of that then is done up right up here, or finding out what they want to get right here in the new rapport building. So that's really the important part. The rest is just helping them get that. Okay? Now, then, so you've arranged a follow-up call, and it might be the next day. If they, Elaine had wanted to speak with her husband and he wouldn't be home for a couple of days, then maybe it would be a couple of days later, but get that sort of set. But then it's the follow-up call to find out if they've had enough information to make a decision and what do they want to do. Okay? So Steve and I are going to do a little bit of a role play showing you that scenario.
Stand up. Ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, Rose.
Yeah.
Rose behind Steve calling.
Hi there.
Hi. Have you decided what you want to do?
Well, oh boy, Steve, I've got a few questions. I wonder if
Sure,
we
fire away.
can deal with that. I'm really worried about other distributors on my street, because I think there is someone else doing things.
Okay. What I can show you is that really isn't a problem. And if that isn't a problem, is Clean Easy something you want to get started?
Well, tell me where it would be a problem.
Well, because Clean Easy doesn't operate with territories, which is a tremendous advantage to us as distributors, and a tremendous advantage to Clean Easy.
What if they get all the orders though?
Well,
Like I wouldn't get any orders
I can
then.
understand how you feel that way, but in reality, the way it works, when people are experienced in business and have been doing it for a while, they're only delivering to their customers. So if somebody comes into an order shop where we live, every now and then they're going to run to one of our customers and we'll get a phone call saying somebody's on our patch. And we tell them again that there are no patches. But all the people in between are fair game. So you will build your base of customers around
Well,
those other
yeah, how long would it take then to know that I've got customers? Like, to have this customer base that you're talking about?
Oh, it takes about 6 months.
Okay, so in that 6 months then it's, it's commission based. If I don't get many orders, then I'm not going to get a whole lot of money.
In our experience, and we've built this customer base 3 times now, we're gluttons for punishment, we keep moving. So we know that if you just go out and follow the system that we will teach you, the orders will come and the customer base will be built. But tell me, if you could achieve with this what you've seen in the testimonies that I showed you, how do you feel about it?
Well, yeah, I'd really like the money, but, I'm sorry to waste your time, but I really think that I need something that's steady and sort of predictable. The commission really worries me.
Okay, absolutely fine. It doesn't sound as though this is for you.
No, I don't think so.
Firstly, as you know, we're looking for people who want to earn £400 to £600 a month delivering and taking care of it. If you know anybody who would appreciate that income, why don't you pass our details on?
Okay, and I'll keep your number, Steve,
Yeah.
in case things change.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, thanks, Steve.
And next time we do a role play, could you make it run something like we suggested?
10 appointments a week.
Yeah. And the appointments are short, they don't go long like Lance was trying, yeah. And they're not all as long as an hour either, Michael. Yes. Okay, so what's the rub with this? There is a downside to this. And the first thing is you still have to do the marketing activity. You still have to get out there and hoof it around with leaflets, cards, flyers, posters, or whatever. That doesn't change. You still have to somehow attract the leads to you. And you still have to pick up the phone. We can't get away from it. You still have to make the appointment and do the follow-up call. And the other downside that I see is you still get rejection. Okay? People are still going to say no to you. And they will say no to you more than they say yes. That's sod's law.
Yeah, but if you get by doing this, you get the no's on the first phone call.
Yes.
By the time you do the appointment, you have got that face-to-face bit.
Yeah. It's a much faster process
Yeah.
in the phoning. Like right now, I'm often phoning people 5-6 times, either phoning, texting, emailing to try to get them, because people just don't call you back. That's a fact of life. And that can take, you know, over a couple of weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks, which is a long, protracted period. And I take a look at some of my lead calls and I think, gosh, I've seen that number, you know, every day this week and I'm tired of it. But this time, they know you're calling back. Okay, they're expecting your call. Even if it's to tell the distributor, no, I don't want to do it. I've only had one person that I've done an appointment with that I can't get. She moved to Mars.
I've had one lead that I'm not going to get hold of at all.
Yeah.
Let's just say, do you have an element of that, but it's far less.
Yeah. Now, on that, maybe we could address that. If someone has sent you their details, they want some information, and you try to phone them and they're not available, I do leave a message saying, you know, pretty much the same script as you have on the making an appointment. It's, you know, Rosemary Roundtree, and you're interested in. Oh, okay. Yeah.
In the script.
Would you give me a call back? And I might try them a couple of times if I've nothing better to do. But at that point, they've asked for information. They've got to get back to us if they want to. And that's a sign that, you know, there's a human being behind that person. But the benefits to this are huge, and the local team that you get just because you're only going a certain distance from your front door is really big. I think we have a much better team cohesion with the local people. We get to know the people better. Okay? It's a whole lot cheaper than buying leads off the internet. You know, I don't know, Steve, what are we paying for some of our sort of upwards £1, £2 in some cases?
Well, we have been, yeah, right now we're not.
Yeah, right now. So that buying the leads can be quite a drain and profitable. And boy, you know, as Steve said just a few minutes ago, it's a lot more fun to talk to people in person. You know, we could have gone over this information of doing appointments just in an email, you know, send it out, or done an easy reach message to tell you all about it. But it's not nearly as much fun. We don't get the feedback that you do face to face, and that's what you get when you're talking to people one-on-one or one-on-two, whatever it might be. Okay? We can train people in this method by taking them with us. So, for example, if Michael wanted to get into team building, he might want to go out on an appointment with Jim. Have Jim do the appointment, and Michael just sits there like a doorknob and listens, you know, whatever.
But Michael must be an expert because
he's had it done to him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you've been there. You've been there.
What suggestions do you have for, like, us where we both work?
They both, oh, I had that just the other day. Actually, it wasn't two people.
Not for us for doing the appointments.
Oh, if you're working, do them at night. Do them on the weekend. Do them in your lunch hour.
Just give people two choices that are convenient to you. I'm around at 6 or I'm in your area at 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock.
Because the appointment's 20 minutes, you
That's the
know,
maximum time you say that.
you get 20 minutes, half hour tops.
Right.
You know, everybody has different characteristics, and the same as Michael, I would want a lot more information,
Okay.
but there's not many of us about, to be honest. You know, most people don't go into so much detail.
Yeah.
So, you know, 20 minutes is quite feasible if someone's got a lunch hour. If you haven't got time to get to their home, perhaps meet in Sainsbury's coffee shop or somewhere local to you.
If you put the appointments on the hour, you do the appointment takes 20 minutes, and when you ask them if they've got any questions, you only answer the question they ask you. Because like in the one I did that was wrong, I was trying to tell them things that they didn't need to know, they hadn't asked about. And Jim said with Michael, yes, it took a long time. That was because Michael was given, asking the questions, so Jim was answering what he wanted to know. But if Michael hadn't had questions, it would have been a 20-minute appointment. So you can book the whatever 2-hour slot you've got in the evening or weekends.
It's the same principle as well. If somebody you're phoning is working full time, and that they'll probably want an evening appointment, so you have that flexibility.
Yeah, and the one I had just the other day, it was someone that worked right up until 6 o'clock. And I don't know how that came out, but it came out just in you were looking for something to deliver catalogs. Maybe I said, what are your current obligations or something? She said, oh, I don't even get home until 6. Fine, I'll look at 6:15. So you can work around it. But
I
it's,
suppose if
it's
you've
all
only
your
got
choice.
20, if you've only got 20 appointments a week, I'm thinking about the phone calls plus doing the appointments. If you've only got 20
It
appointments,
takes hardly any
then
time.
you don't need to, you know,
20 appointments a week would be a lot.
no,
20
20
leads.
leads, sorry.
Yeah.
To read
It
up
takes
a week.
30 seconds.
I find I've got all this time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
taken a
I'm
lot
not
less
using online.
time.
I'm not opening my book, taking staring at 40 pictures already.
Mm.
And that's what makes it more excitable or
And enjoyable.
exciting, because you think, I'm actually going to make an appointment with this person because they've actually requested the information
Yeah.
rather than the broad, you know, want to earn an extra income and people wouldn't, they haven't got a clue what it's about. But with the catalogue side, you know that you're going to speak to them about the £400 to £600 delivering catalogues. As we've all said, we've all tried it, and it just, I personally have wanted to pick the phone up to make that appointment because I know I'm going to go and meet someone face to face, and it's a people's game.
At the
You
end
know,
of the day,
if they don't like it, they don't like it. That's tough. But most people, you find that out within the first few minutes of actually going into a room with someone.
But if they've actually made an appointment, it's another stage in the commitment.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
on the phone, you can talk to them people over the face, and you know,
Well, that's what you find, isn't it?
there's all of that rejection at the end of it, but getting somebody's home is a different story.
Absolutely.
And you can be excited when you're sitting in front of someone, and they can see your face, and,
Yeah.
you know.
Maybe we want to talk about what we do with only one person going and what we wear and stuff like that.
I was going to say, what do you wear? What would you wear a t-shirt or would you wear a
Shirt. Yeah, I was not this. I usually just wear.
Being out tracksuit bottom, you're all right,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you want to look clean
Yeah, yeah.
and neat. I go like
You
this.
don't need to go in a suit and tie,
No,
but you don't
exactly.
want to go like just crawl out of bed.
Mm.
We're working on the 2 weeks.
Please brush your hair.
Okay, just to wrap up this part of it, folks, this is just another way to sponsor people into your business. Okay, we're not trying to ditch the system or anything, we're just trying to add to it. Add to it in a way, albeit that we think it is really something that's going to work for us. We like it really well, but it's your choice. You now have two options. And you know, Graham, if your work hours are that long or the family commitments are that, you might not be able to do it. You know, you might have to deal with the phone, but you know, on the one or two occasions that you can get out, then you know, you folks, you might want to try it.
I think it'll work really well on the local leads.
Yeah.
You know, that's perfect for that. When you go a little bit further afield, you don't really want to be travelling to London for 10 no's to 1 yes. You know what I mean?
Again, that's where if you are leafleting locally or even interneting on a local area, you would pick an area and say, right, I'm going to work on that area. I'll make all my calls in that area, so that if I've got 4 appointments, if you're not doing it during the day, you've got 4 appointments during the day, you make them all on that day, or try to.
Yeah.
And the same as if you're working full time and you're going to go to an area in the evening, you don't want to be going, oh, I'm not going to go until midnight. So you pick. This is the beauty of this, is you can pick when that appointment is.
And also you're building a team where you want it and where you can support
Yeah,
them.
the result is that's
Yeah.
important.
Absolutely.
It's so much easier to deal with a team that's nearby. You know, we can get catalogs to Sean because you're 10 minutes away or something. And same with any, we run out of something and kind of go to a route walk.
Yeah.
You know, you can get that sort of stuff. But like Stuart and Mark, for example, they're way, way away. And it's really a lot harder for us to support them, a lot harder for them to feel like they're part of the team.
Yeah, just going back to, picking up Graham again with his time issue. I know, particularly with you, Graham, how you're dealing with lots of leads and team doing that. So you can either spend 2 hours in the evening, seeing a couple of people, maybe every night, and you're going to get somebody in, or you can spend 2 hours on the phone phoning hundreds of leads. Whatever you do, you're probably going to spend 2 hours a night doing it, aren't you? So, like Rosie said, you don't have to ditch the old system, but you could still fit this in because you could probably see 2 people in an evening.
Yeah.
So
As long as you've got to keep it locked, haven't you?
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the thing.
Yeah, it doesn't work if you're going to, it doesn't work in Scotland. You don't go and see someone drive to Scotland for an appointment. That's what
can do it right.
But I mean, thinking ahead, if you then get 2 or 3 people, then there's a lot of players to where you are. You would then just stop leafleting there and go somewhere else, or would you?
Yeah, and that's what Doug Roper has done now. Instead of just doing sort of within a 15-minute radius, he's now going further afield because he does have such a strong team who are also team building right in on his doorstep. So yeah, he's done that because he's more senior in commercial. Yeah.
It's a mixture of both, isn't it? You want to do a mixture of both at the end of the day. What you can do further afield, that's fine. Let people can see.
Any other questions I can help you with now? Okay, before there's one other thing we want to do, well, 2 other things before we wrap up. My serious apologies to Keith Adler. You noticed. I'm so sorry. In the Easy Reach message I sent out the other day announcing all the people that had introduced new people to the team, I missed Keith. And I don't know how. I'm so pleased for you. Congratulations, and the person who brought in. Yeah, I'm sorry, Keith. Just, yeah. Okay, now, if I go to the, oh, by the way, mull this stuff over, and, if you have questions, and we'll be sort of dealing with this on an ongoing basis. We're looking to step up the Easy Sponsor trainings that we started back in March and doing maybe say 3-year, 4-year, whatever, and we will now then incorporate what we're calling Ezeapps, just for a title, into the Easy Sponsor. So it would be the appointments plus the what we used to call the information packs. Now, do I just flip to the next slide?
Yeah.
Steve's so proud of that. Big announcement. It's going to be exciting. On one side of that line, and everything that we've been through is the past. And in the past, our business hasn't grown the way we wanted it to, but we're drawing a line in the sand, and we have some huge goals for the next year. And we're ready for it, we're motivated, and we want our business to go much, much bigger things. So can you draw a line in the sand and say, it doesn't matter what's happened before, I'm starting now, I'm starting again, I'm going to do it. And I'm wondering if there's anybody in this room that can identify some of the people in this.
And started a failed first business with Microsoft. He was fired by a newspaper editor because he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. He was rejected from the University of Southern California School of Theater, Film, and Television, 3 times. Fired from her job as a television reporter because she was unfit for TV. Nearly penniless, severely depressed, divorced, trying to raise a child on her own while attending school and writing a novel. Submitted Harry Potter to 12 publishing houses, all of which rejected her. Fired after just one performance. Told, "You ain't going nowhere, son. We ought to go back to driving a truck." Sony's first product was a rice cooker that unfortunately didn't cook rice so much as burnt it, selling less than 100 units. One of the most famous people to live in an attic. Her diary had 15 rejections. He is known for his proven record, but for decades he held the record for strikeouts. When asked about this, he simply said, "Every strike brings me closer to the next home."
Can you do it?
Yep.
Can you raise yourself up?
Yep.
Will you let us help you? Will you draw a line in the sand and say that the past is past? And it doesn't matter how successful or what we've done wrong, we can overcome that and become better. Put that date in your diary. And we'll tell you what the announcement is on that day.